You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Mary here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's 70 minutes for the Gaming Dragon today. I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of MajorMinor. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos, one of which is already up. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. There we go. Who do I believe? Who do I side with? This choice will affect the flow of the story. I stand with you too. Alright. Path of the Mercenary, alright? Of course, it seems like the obvious choice. I should tell myself this is a method of reassurance. It wasn't in my nature to let someone starve in prison, even if it meant losing track of the reason I'm here. I might not learn what the king wants this way, but at least I know I'd be saving something. And Kila trusts Righty. I should trust him too. I don't think Kila is the type to be easily manipulated. But then another thought crossed my mind. If you suddenly found yourself in a strange world, you'd likely trust the first person to help you. There's a point in time where you're impressionable. Maybe that's why I trust Endymion and Conrad. Perhaps if they got Kila, he'd sided with them too. I decided that I should quickly drop this thought. It will do nothing except make me doubt my choice. However, bridges will definitely get burnt. It could possibly make Endymion and Conrad my enemy. I don't want that to happen. It's just a fact. I asked Righty what our next step is, and I let him know my allegiance lies with them. Well, your choice makes me happy. I'm glad that you've seen the truth, but for now we simply have to wait.
This is really awesome! We get to be partners on Terra, too!
I smile. Things are starting to take shape. The huge uncertainty I felt earlier now fades away. I would advise that you go back upstairs. Go about your business as you see fit. But perhaps stay away from the assassins. In the meantime, I will talk with Kila. Our assault on Player's home needs planning. But know you've made the honorable choice.
Of course he has! That's what he's good at! Perhaps I'll come speak with you later. But for now I have to talk to Righty. He seems to want my input for some reason.
That's true. But you have a part to play. Pretend that you're still on their side. I'll make sure to find you when we need you. Kalen will suffer no longer, and Velasquez's tyrannical reign will end. This is your true duty as the savior. Both of them walk away, leaving me alone. I'm left to ponder the decision I just made. That, and what consequences might come with it. Various scenarios play out in my mind, some good, some horrific. They repeat as I make my way back upstairs. When I get back upstairs, I notice how loud it is. The tavern definitely became more lively since I left. The place is absolutely littered with patrons. They look incredibly happy amongst themselves. Much better than the faces I saw them wear earlier. At this moment, it seems that Terra doesn't need saving. Of course, that feeling was ephemeral, as most are. I realize the happiness is most likely from the drink. Each of them holds an overflowing stein in their hands. They seem to not care how much they're spilling, and I try to figure out my next course of action. Righty suggested that I not talk to Endymion or Conrad. Of course, they'd find it odd if I ignored them, especially if I just came from talking to their enemy. Perhaps I should just go make small talk. I'll tell them Righty tried to sell me stuff. I could see if they mention anything about their mail. If the box was empty, then Righty would be correct. Of course, that would be nothing to revel about. It would mean the fact that Kalen was in trouble, and not the kind of trouble we could ignore. But if anybody was equipped to rescue Kalen, it had to be Righty. He was both strong and smart. I'm just glad that his goals aligned with mine. I wanted to learn the truth about Velasquez. Like, no, it is water time.
Hey there! Surprised at all the people?
I nod.
People seem to forget what we are. At night, we turn into a watering hole. No immigration papers to be found. Not that it bothers me, of course. Everyone is on some journey of their own. We cater to every type of person. People who've come a long way to be here, or people who still have a long way to go. Anyways, I saw you go downstairs. You must have had a chat with Righty.
I nod once more.
He always has something to say, that one. Sometimes I just think he's bored. He sits around all day on his own. Do you want to come have a drink? Me and Fidget were about to sit down. There's something we should talk about. We have our own special table, so we don't need to wait for any vacancies.
He points to a table near the corner of the tavern. I see Fidget sitting down. He's talking to himself.
I shrug and say sure. I didn't have anything to lose. Great! Oh, and one more thing. While you're here, your drink is free. Oh, you drink for free. Sweet. He starts walking towards the table and I follow. I wave to Endymion and Conrad as I pass them. I just want them to know that I'm not ignoring them. They wave back with a nervous look on their faces. When we arrive at the table, I promptly sit down. I yawn loudly and stretch my arms. Hopefully I can just relax for a while now. I haven't gotten to do much of that lately. Hey again, Karis. I sit there and wait for him to hold out his hand, but he doesn't do it this time. Interesting. So, I heard you're the savior or something. And that's why you're meeting Velasquez? That is so cool! I wish I was important like that. I haven't seen the king since I was little. I glance over at PB. So he told Fidget then. Endymion and Conrad surely wanted him to keep it a secret. I guess that PB is the type to talk. I'll need to keep that in mind for the future. Hey, don't look at me like that. Don't condemn me for telling Fidget. That's my best friend, you know. And besides, what kind of threat is he? It's not like he could ever hurt somebody. That's my brother. I trust him forever. Fair enough. Dropping him for now. We had something to talk about, remember? I didn't take you over here to judge me. This is more like the PB I saw earlier. Easily angered and extremely defensive. Are you going to let me talk to you or not? I surrender and apologize for derailing the subject. Thank you. So, if we could get back on track, I need to talk to you about Righty. I know that you two talked in the cellar, and I'm pretty sure I know what happened. He hates King Velasquez with a passion. This is one of the reasons I dislike Righty. That hatred totally clouds his judgment. Let me guess. Wanted to expose the king? Said he had some sort of evil plan? I nod. It was actually an apt summary. I'm gonna lay this right out here. Velasquez has never hurt anybody. We've only known peace under his reign. Well, except for... I'll get there, Fidget. Just hold on. History of his rule goes back millennia. He's been nothing but altruistic. I know that Righty is strong and smart, but on that matter alone, he's biased. And I really have no idea why. Fidget and I owe Velasquez so much. I don't know why he hired those assassins, but I trust his judgment unconditionally. I guess PB doesn't know that they always work for him. He thinks that they're new to Velasquez's employ. I won't reveal this to him. It seems to be a secret. I wonder if their relationship had to do with this. Endymion and Conrad did mention that they were almost a trio. Perhaps Velasquez did something to make him back out. I think Righty mentioned some sort of litmus test. Hey, you there? PB snaps his fingers as if to jerk me out of a reverie. Thank you, now. Water time. I'm trying to talk to you here. It's rude to stop paying attention. He's right, and I apologize once more. This whole situation just gets more and more confusing. I don't know whose side is the right side. Now, if you'll let me continue. Righty used to work for Velasquez. What? Really? And I don't mean casually or anything. Righty was Velasquez's go-to man. That's a surprise to me. I wonder what caused him to turn so drastically. There was an incident about 10 years ago, and me and Fidget were very young. Velasquez called it the Exodus Project. Exodus? The name seems eerily familiar to me. I guess I need to explain Terra some more, or else this story won't really make sense. I forgot that you were new here for a bit. Terra is extremely open to immigration. We offer people a second chance on our soil, to start anew or to escape harm. But once they arrive, they're kind of stuck here. Leaving Terra is impossible. Impossible? That's what makes us special. We're something like a one-way street. It's still better than your world, though. I heard that you have no open connections. I'm not sure how you even survive. That's a good question, actually. Anyway, back to the Exodus Project. It was an attempt to open our connection. Velasquez wanted to let people leave. If people could come and go as they please, Terra would flourish for an eternity. No more overpopulation or famine. That, and Velasquez could expand. No more would he rule over just Terra. He could rule the entire galaxy for sure. Of course, it didn't go as planned. One look around could easily tell you that. It was a huge disaster. People died. Either that or they just got stranded in space. Our mother was one of these people. Velasquez wasn't only the smartest on Terra. Unfortunately, they suffered the most. We lost some of our key public figures. But we know that Mom is out there. She'll come back one day. She has to. She was so smart. Fidget exclaims this with pride. She's smart enough to find her way back. I don't care how far she ended up. I'm being patient. I'll even wait forever. Heh. Righty was close to our mom, you could say. He felt responsible for her disappearance, especially since he helped Velasquez out. Velasquez needed to fix his public image. He needed to show people that he cared. There was some heat on him after all this. So he funded the creation of our tavern, and tasked Righty with building it. Around 10 years ago, we weren't here. Wait, so Velasquez was the true owner of the tavern? And he got Righty to build it from the ground up? That was a really impressive feat. I'm stunned. Velasquez wanted to create a landmark, and one of galactic proportions, I mean, so the people knew how to get back home. He wanted word of Terra to spread. He wanted everyone to know about the tavern. Eventually, the lost ones would hear of it. And that's the reason we run this place. We hope that one day Mom will come back, that maybe she'll walk through that door. That's what keeps us going. With every second she gets closer. She's gonna be so proud of me. I've grown really big since she left, and I'm learning to be good at chores. You're doing a great job, Fidget. That's what I wanted to tell you anyways. I don't think Velasquez is up to anything. At least nothing like Righty believes. At first the scope of this place was clear, but over time its reason was lost. Now we're just a plain bar and office. No, water time. As this happened, Righty changed too. He got less and less interested in waiting. Perhaps he lost hope, assuming Mom was... Hey, don't say that! It's not true! Sorry. So, Righty has a few reasons to hate, but we don't know what the real one is. I try pressing him for it all the time, but he just says he can't tell me. Something about being a man of honor. But he never leaves the tavern or our side. I think he wants to make it up to us, even though I forgave him long ago. Man of honor, huh? Righty said that earlier we were in the cellar. When I asked him why he didn't become an assassin. Could that have to do with all this? The more time he spent here at the tavern, the more he hated King Velasquez. It grew and grew over a long period of time, and that's all there is to it, really. His hatred seems to transcend everything, no matter how much good Velasquez has done. And that is a lot of good. I'm sure you can agree with me. I mean, just look at this tavern. Indeed, Velasquez seems like a very nice ruler. He owned up to and corrected his mistakes. Doing something like that is very noble. Definitely a mentality befitting that of a king. But now I'm just conflicted even more. One side had an unmatched hatred of Velasquez, and the other side had an unwavering loyalty. It seemed even more impossible to choose a side now. Were Kila and I manipulated? Was Righty and his gang a group of radicals? Or were Damien and Conrad the radicals here, killing any opposition to Velasquez's twisted reign? I guess I would never know until the right time came, and all I can do in my situation is wait and see. Let's push the matters of the past aside. I have my own theory on the future. Whatever it is that makes you special, I think I know what Velasquez wants. He wants to helm another Exodus project. Whoa, really? You're being hailed as a savior. I have no doubt in my mind. He used that term in the past as well. Before the first Exodus project, he promised that Terra would be saved. I'd say you have a long journey ahead. I guess it's only fitting you came here. The Wayfarer's Tavern, I mean. I hope your journey is swift and safe. I'd wish that too. Although, I did plan a detour. I hope that siding with Righty didn't haunt me. I don't want to make an enemy of Velasquez. Nor do I want an enemy of Endymion or Conrad. I hope that we were able to save Kalen. It pains me to know that he's suffering. I decided to ask PB his thoughts on Lord Plier. Well, some people don't like immigration. They think it's harming Terra irreparably. Lord Plier is just one of those men. I can see where he's coming from, but he seeks a total severance. The Exodus project was more admirable. Life on an unconnected world? I'm not sure why Plier wants that. It seems like it would be impossible. No offense, of course. I'm sure they made it work on Terra. None taken. It's like, no, water time. In fact, Terra was odd for me. We just have some major cultural differences. Well, thanks for listening to me anyway. I didn't mean to talk for so long. I'll let you go back to your friends. When he says friends, he looks to Endymion and Conrad. I smile and thank him for the chat before leaving. I better not tell him who I aligned myself with earlier. Heh, wouldn't want to spill the beans in that regard. As soon as I stand up, I look towards the assassins. They seem to be deep in conversation amongst themselves. But as I'm sure it involves me, I walk towards them. I know it was against Righty's suggestion, but I'm starting to feel some internal doubt. After a few moments of walking, I get to the table. They both look up at me swiftly with a look of worry. I wonder what's on their minds. I wait for them to break the silence. This game... It's too long between save points.
Like, seriously. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!